You've got questions, we've got answers. Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, answering the questions that new leaders ask us. Actually, it's our goal to help all leaders become more successful, productive, and confident. And we do that in part by answering your questions. If you're following us and watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future or past episodes. Today, the question we're answering is this: how do I deal with negative employees? Are you ready? Well, let's get started. I don't know how often I've been asked this question. It's a lot. The question is, Kevin, how do I deal with negative employees? Well, before I give you 5 specific things you can do, let's start with the single most important thing. In fact, I could say this, and if you get this part right, the rest won't even be necessary. Here it is. We're not talking about a person. We're not dealing with a negative employee or a negative person. We're dealing with a negative behavior. It's also not an attitude. It's a behavior. And when we remember that it's not about a person, so I've got to fix this person, but it's about a behavior, then we got a much better chance of working with it. So now let me give you 5 specific things that you can do to help work with your folks who are being more negative, to help them be more positive, perhaps more effective, and help you in your own path as well. So here they are. First, observe, don't judge. Actually, when you move to judgment, you're thinking about that person. They're doing something wrong. And when we feel like we're being judged by someone else, we get defensive. So don't do that. Just observe. Here's what I notice you doing. Here's how I'm noticing your behavior. Here's what I'm seeing. Let them know what you're seeing. What does the videotape show? Observe, don't judge. Next, let them know the impact. They may not even realize that their behavior is being seen as negative. They may not realize that it's having a negative or a downward pressure on the energy or attitude of the team. So let them know the impact of their behavior. Next, separate facts from opinions. Because they may be saying, listen, I'm not being negative. I'm just telling you what is going on. Here's the situation. Here are my concerns. And there's nothing wrong with any of that, right? So if there are facts, if there are specific things happening, we need to know about that. And maybe we need to thank them for sharing it. But that's different from them sort of leaning into the negative opinions, being more cynical or being critical. Those are different things. So separate the facts from the opinions. Next, acknowledge, don't feed. So it's one thing to acknowledge how people feel. And in fact, I believe that we should do that, even if how they're feeling, negative perhaps in this case, is different than how we're feeling. It's important to acknowledge it, but we don't need to feed it. There's an old country song that says, misery loves company. We don't need to be providing company to the person who's feeling a sense of misery. We don't need to feed the negative. And lastly, especially as the leader, we can expect something different. We can not expect them to change their attitude, but we can expect them to change their behavior, especially when their behavior, their words are causing negativity, undue negativity for the rest of the team. I'm not suggesting anything other than making sure that people see that what's going on, what they're doing is having a negative impact. And when they see that and you expect something different, you can get better results. And lastly, for yourself. If you've got folks with a lot of negativity around you, it's hard. We can be drugged down by it. And since they are our team members, since they are our teammates, since they are perhaps our direct reports, we can't sort of ignore them. Right? We can't just say, well, I don't want to deal with that neighbor. I'm going to steer clear. You can't do that. But what we can do is stay above it. If we do the things I've already said, we have a chance to say, I'm not going to let this impact me. I'm going to take the facts that they're sharing, but I'm not going to let their negativity impact me or drag me down. I'm going to stay above it. Let me close with today's tweet. Negative attitudes can be overcome by acknowledging, sharing impact, and redirecting. Make sure people know how their negativity is affecting others. If you have a question you'd like me to answer on a future episode, you can send it to me. Put a comment right here where you are or send an email to info@kevineikenberry.com. kevineikenberry.com. We will get that. We will answer your question here or send you it where we've already answered that question. We've got plenty of other resources on kevineikenberry.com for you as a new or frontline leader, or organizationally if you're trying to help your new and frontline leaders be more effective. Make sure that if you like this video, to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, do those things. And lastly, if you like the tenor and the idea and the positivity of this message, please sign up for our 3 times a week email called Your Remarkable Day, where I share ideas, inspirations, and information to help you have, in fact, a more remarkable day. All the information for that is right here, or you can go to kevineikenberry.com/newsletters to learn more and sign up. I hope that you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. We'll be back with more questions and more answers.